Hey guys, Dave from Wolfhard Hobbying here, and today we're going to continue painting the Patriarch model from the Deathwatch Overkill box set. In this video we're going to take a look at painting mainly those little flesh vent things on the back, along the arms, in between the joints, and things like that. I just call them the fleshy bits in the armor, whatever. So our base color is going to be Citadel's base Stegodon Scale Green. And we're just going to apply this in a thin layer. It's been thinned down with some Lamaine medium. So we're going to have to do about 2 coats to get a nice clean and smooth base coat. So as you can see here, I'm not worrying about getting it on the back carapace at all, because in our next video we're going to be covering painting that up. So that's just going to be easy cleanup. Where you want to be careful is on the arms, the the calf behind his leg there, those areas where we've already done the base coat, the highlights and all that, because you don't really want to go in and clean up. So alternatively, what you could have done is done this color right after putting down the first layer of Jacaro orange on the arms and legs and stuff. That way, if you happen to slop over, you could easily clean it up. So this step, fairly straightforward. This is going to be a fairly simple video, nothing too over the top as far as painting wise. Just want to show you the colors that I'm using for the Genestealer cult. So as you can see, I'm just going to go and I'm going to jump around the whole model and get this done. So here we have our base coat done. We've done the brain part, the joints at the wrist, the arms and all that. And now we're going to highlight those. And how we're going to do that is we're going to come in with Citadel's Sotek Green. This is a very blue, is more blue than green, but it's going to give us a nice transition from the dark Sotek Green, Stegodon Scale Green into this Sotek Green. So I'm taking my finest detail brush I have, and I'm just going to lightly drag it over top of these kind of lines, so that, as you can see here, I had too much paint on the brush, so it kind of went in the crevice, and that's not what I want to do. So that area is going to be a fairly easy cleanup. I'm just going to have to put another little base coat on and clean it up, but you want to just hit the tops of those ridges. So here I'm just going to kind of show you, even though I am going to come back in and clean this up. Alternatively, you could do what's kind of, it's called, what I consider an overbrush, where you just lightly, you have enough paint on there but not too much, and you kind of dry brush at an kind of against it, but it's not a dry brush in the sense that I have wet paint and it's not a dry, and I'm not trying to get just the pigment. So or you could just if you've got very steady hands, unlike me, then you can just use the side of your brush and just gently run it over those ridges. But it's up to you on how you want to do this. Again, guys, this is just how I'm doing it. Paint however you want to paint. So in the bottom kind of crevices or vents or whatever they happen to be, I'm kind of just hitting some of the pieces that would actually get light. Again, here I had too much paint on my brush, and as you can see, I slopped. I could have just covered that up and redone it, but I want to show you guys that, everybody makes mistakes, and sometimes your mistakes can have great consequences. But regardless, I'm going to jump ahead and I'm going to get all that done. So here is the entire vent system done in the Sotek Green, and I left the brain area in that Stegodon Green, because I want to show you how I'm going to do the brain with these colors. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to add some more Lamaine medium and kind of make it a glaze consistency. So, and then what we're going to do is we're going to essentially in a way layer highlight the brain. And how we're going to do that is I'm just going to put this Sotek Green on all the major parts, and the reason I want it in a glaze consistency is I want it to when it dries, have a subtle transition from that Stegodon green into the Sotek green. So I'm using a fairly big base coating brush here for this area just to get the main parts done. Then I'm going to come in with a probably smaller, maybe a detail brush or something, get closer to the edges just to highlight this up. So it's going to give him kind of almost like a plasma power type look to these vent areas. That's what I'm just going to call them from now on. And his brain, but I kind of like that idea. I want, like, especially with his brain, I want it to show like it's almost pulsating with psionic energy, and just, you know, make it look like he's actually controlling, like he has the brain capacity to control this kind of hive mind almost on the model. So that's it. Like I said, I'm going to go in with probably a detail brush and get it closer to the kind of top crown that he has on his head. But I'm going to do that probably off camera. So what I'm going to do is, while I'm going to kind of let that dry just to make sure as well that is going to turn out the way I want it to turn out. So what we're going to do in the meantime is, while it's drying, we're going to get on with our next highlight, which is Lothern Blue. Again, you could probably do some mixtures, work your way up here, and that's completely up to you. But I think on a small model like this, I wouldn't do it. I'd probably, like maybe on a larger Tyranid model, I would kind of build up to maybe this be the final highlight. But I'm just doing these guys tabletop, not anything special. So I'm just showing you here, as you can see, I didn't clean up that kind of vent area there where I've messed up, because the Lothern Blue will kind of separate that for me as well. So I was just using the edge of my brush and just getting kind of the center of all those ridges with kind of an edge highlight. So here I'm going to kind of show you what I mean by like an overbrush, as these areas are kind of hard to hit every single line. So I'm just lightly, there I have too much paint, so you want to make sure that you don't have a lot of paint on the brush. Again, it's almost like a dry brush, but not really, if that makes any sense to anybody. Makes sense to me, and that's how I'm painting. So as you can see, I'm gradually building up the color with the minimal paint on my brush, and it's really popping out those areas, which is what I want. And I did tester models on the Genestealers, the Pure Strain Genestealers, so I know I like this color scheme already. So this is how I'm going to just do it on him. The larger parts I'm going to try and hit every ridge, but for those smaller areas I'm going to just do that overbrushing. So with all the overbrushing done on the vents and the edge highlights on the larger vents, you can see it really just kind of pops with that orange color. Don't know why, but for me, I love it. It looks amazing. So with the brain, the next step for the highlight is you're going to want to pick out all the ridges in his brain. Now this will require a very steady hand and a very thin detail brush. So just giving you kind of an example there, just lightly building up the color. This part you don't want to rush. You would want to do light coats, but I don't want to show you painting all the little ridges, so I went ahead and did it on the other side. So here's, I picked out all the ridges, all the little brain area, and it really stands out. It's amazing. I love it. You could come in with a white mixture with the Lothern Blue to maybe to bring a little bit brighter. I might do that for some of the areas of the brain, just to show maybe some synapse energy or whatever happens to be running through the brain. But it's very detailed, and I can't really do it on camera, as again my hands aren't steady and it's a little awkward painting on camera. So with those fine details, that's why I did it off camera. So that's it, guys. That's how I paint those fleshy bits on my Tyranid Patriarch. Let me know what you think. I really love this color, this build up of blue. Again, with larger models, you could probably layer up to a Lothern blue with some mixtures and things like that. But again, just want to get this on the tabletop. And as stated, in the next video, we'll be taking care of painting the carapace on his back. So stay tuned for that video. I want to thank you guys for watching the video and supporting the channel. As always, there will be a link to my Facebook and Patreon accounts in the description below, so if you want to shoot me a message on Facebook or show some support through Patreon, that would be awesome. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and the like button, and leave any comments of what you would like to see me paint or techniques that you'd like to see me paint. Either way, guys, I want to thank you again for watching the video and have yourselves a great day.